Hello colleagues, and welcome to Week 2, Unit 2 of SAP Cloud Platform Version Control with Git. In this unit, we will discuss an experiment with three-way merging. This slide shows a scenario in your repository in which three-way merging might be an appropriate solution. You can imagine a practical situation where this might happen. You're starting work on a new feature, which you decide to do in a separate feature branch. After doing some work on your feature and performing several commits, you're interrupted by bug reports for the main version, which is maintained on the master branch. So you periodically switch back to the master branch to fix the bugs, and then you go back to the feature branch in order to continue work on your feature. This could happen several times. By the time you're finished, you have two different lines of development, or what I like to call a divergence in commit history, with several commits behind the feature branch that are not behind the master branch, and several commits behind the master branch that are not on the feature branch. But now that your feature is complete, you want to combine the work on the two branches. A three-way merge is a great tool to solve your problem. Now, three-way merging is performed with the merge button in Web IDE, just like fast-forward merging is, but it is a completely different operation. As you can see, three-way merging combines the development from both branches into a single commit. The new commit will have all your changes from the branch you merged from, in this case the feature branch, and all the changes from the branch you merged onto, in this case the master branch. So in the practical scenario, when you have feature development on the feature branch and bug fixes on the master branch, you would get to combine your new feature plus all your bug fixes into a single commit. Now, where does the 3 in three-way merge come from? The 3 comes from the 3 commits Git uses in order to compute what changes were made in each branch. The first commit, labeled with a 1 on this slide, is pointed to by the branch you are merging from. The second commit, labeled with a 2, is the commit pointed to by the branch you are merging onto. And the third commit is the last common ancestor of the other two commits. You see that with a 3 on this slide. Git finds the last common ancestor of your two commits, finds the differences between that commit and each of the other two commits, and uses those to compute both sets of changes made. It then combines those changes into a single commit. Now, I mentioned that even though a fast-forward merge is performed with the exact same button, merge, as a three-way merge, it's a completely different operation, even if the goals of integrating development are closely related. It's worth considering a few ways that these two operations differ. First, there's the obvious fact that when you perform a fast-forward merge, no difference computation is needed as there is with a three-way merge, since you're simply moving a branch pointer. Second, and more importantly, notice that three-way merging automatically creates a new commit. This new commit is called a merge commit. Fast-forward merging does not create a new commit. If you don't want to create a commit that marks when the two separate lines of development happened, then three-way merging is not a good solution for you in this scenario. We'll discuss other tools you could use in a later unit. Third, and most practically, there is a more subtle but very important difference. After you complete a fast-forward merge, the result is that both branch pointers are pointing to the same commit. But after you perform a three-way merge, your branches are pointing to different commits. Sometimes this is very important because there are some practical situations in which you need to ensure that both branch pointers are pointing to the same commit. Let's take this slide as an example. Let's say that you merged from feature onto master because you wanted to incorporate your feature development work onto the main branch. Then you get an email about another bug fix that you need to perform right away, so you switch to the master branch, perform the bug fix, and save, stage, and commit the bug fix. What's going to happen here? Well, in this case, the bug fix you performed on the master branch will not include the feature you just incorporated. Do you see that? Do you see why? Let me draw this out for you. Okay. Let's draw. Okay, so here we have a three-way merge scenario. I'm going to draw this from left to right this time. And here, let's say, is your feature branch. Got 3 commits. And here, say, is your master branch. You've got 3 commits here. Okay, so now you perform a 3-way merge. You merge master onto feature. Which means, oh no, you merged, excuse me, we merged feature onto master. That was a mistake I just said. So we merged feature onto master. So here we go. We have a merge commit here, and the 3-way merge has happened. Now remember, we said in our scenario, you get an urgent bug fix, which you need to make on the master branch. So you check out the master branch, and you make the bug fix there. Now you see from this drawing why the bug fix you made on master didn't successfully include the feature branch, because master and feature weren't pointing to the same commit. So that was clearly the wrong way to do it. Let's look at the right way. So I'll write wrong up here. So let's look at the right way to do it. Again, we're going to perform the 3-way merge from feature onto master the exact same way. So here is before the merge. Here's after the merge. Here's before the merge still, excuse me. Haven't done the 3-way merge yet. Getting ahead of myself mentally. And you perform a 3-way merge of feature onto master, meaning you create a merge commit, and your feature branch will point there. Now, the correct thing to do, if you want your feature included in your master branch, when you get that urgent bug fix report onto master, is the missing step was you're aware of where these branch pointers are. You're aware that they don't point to the same thing. So before you do the bug fix, you check out the master branch and you fast forward merge it onto feature. Now, let's say, we'll do another color still. You perform the bug fix, and when you perform the bug fix on the master branch, it includes the feature. Okay. So now we see how this works and how you should do a bug fix like that. Now the really unfortunate thing is not just that this happens all the time, it's that when it happens, people don't even know that it happened. They just keep developing on master, and then a week later they say, what? My new feature isn't in the code base? I know I merged it last week. And a lot of times they'll blame Git for being complicated. So most often the problem is that people just clicked merge and they didn't even pay attention to whether or not the merge was a fast forward merge or a 3-way merge. They didn't even look at the repository first. So of course that has the potential to cause certain problems. Okay, so oops. Now you know what the concept of 3-way merging is. So let's look at it in practice. Before I do this demo for you to follow along with, there's something special for me to mention. We're going to start by making a divergence in commit history, 2 separate lines of development, between feature and master. When we do so, we're going to be very careful to only modify the master branch towards the beginning of the file, and to only modify the feature branch towards the end of the file. If you make variations in your demo, please make sure to make the changes in very different spots in the file. That's because we're going to get merge conflicts if we modify lines close to each other. We're going to cover merge conflicts in the next unit, but for now, I just wanted to focus on the topic of three-way merge so that has no conflicts. So when you follow along, be sure not to modify lines in the files that are close to one another. And as I said earlier, manually typing in your changes. Don't copy and paste. Don't worry, it won't be much typing. Because if you copy and paste, Git will think that the entire file is changed, and you're definitely going to get a merge conflict. So let's look at this in the demo. Okay, first of all, I was sort of preparing for this, so I need to discard all my changes that are in the staging area so we can start from scratch. All right, so here is our index file. And let's start, if you remember from before, I'll just verify this real quickly, that master and feature are on the same branch. So they're pointing to the same commit. So we're going to make them diverge a bit. So we're going to check out master. If it's not already checked out in your web IDE, make sure you do so. And then towards the beginning, I'm going to change the title here from an empty web page to my page of quotes. I'm going to hit save and stage, and I'm going to commit and changed title to my page of quotes. Best practice, helpful commit message. We're going to hit commit. And let's do something else. Let's add a new file. Let's add a cascading style sheet. Don't worry, if you're not familiar with CSS files, we're not going to go very deep into the technology. Styles.css, new file. We'll just leave it blank. And we'll stage added empty styles.css file. Commit. Okay, that's done. And in the line back on our index.html, we'll go ahead and close this. Right underneath my page of quotes in the title, we'll add a link to the style sheet, which is empty. href equals link href equals styles.css space rel equals style sheet space type equals quote text text/css. Let's go ahead and test and make sure I did that correctly. Always a good idea. I'm going to go ahead and stage it. Seems to be okay. So, and I'll added link in index.html to styles.css. So we're adding a commit message, and we're committing this change. All these changes, as I said, were made towards the beginning of the file, which in this case is quite important. Now, let's check out the feature branch and make some changes towards the bottom of the file. First, let's add an empty, we're going to start actually putting in quotes. I've been promising you that this is going to be a web page of quotes, and we haven't added any. But let's add an empty bulleted list right now with just 2 empty bullets. So I put this UL and then this \UL down here, LI, \LI. Let's do that again, LI. So hopefully that's clear what I just typed in here. So it's a unbulleted list, an unnumbered list with 2 empty list items. In index.html on our feature branch. That's very important. And let's add the first quote here. One of my favorite quotes from the Marvel Universe. With great power comes great responsibility. Uncle Ben Parker. Save. Stage. Added quote from Uncle Ben Parker. Before we commit, let's be good developers and test. Make sure our web page works. I think it's going to work fine. It sure does. So we will commit. We already staged. Now we have feature and master in two separate lines of code. Let's look at feature and master. I'm not even going to draw this out because even though that's helpful sometimes, in this case the Git history pane makes it so clear. Right here you have the master branch where we did some stuff towards the top. Right here you have the feature branch where we did some stuff towards the bottom. Now let's three-way merge from feature onto master. That means we check out the feature branch first, which it already is, and we're going to click merge. Again, this is the exact same thing we do for a fast forward merge, but it's a different operation. So we're clicking on master, and I'm hitting OK. Look what happened. We have no merge conflicts because it didn't pop up with a conflict box. And look, these changes towards the top from master were put here, and these changes towards the bottom are also there. That's because we created a merge commit. So looking at the history pane, if we show both feature and master, we see it's not going to change what you already saw, but right here is feature. And just like we observed before, master is all the way down here. See, master. So we need, if we want master and feature to be pointing to the same commit, we want to fast forward master onto feature. So now we'll finish up. We do want them pointing to the same commit in case there are future bug fixes on master, for example. And we're going to follow up by checking out master, hitting merge, and say let's merge onto feature. Now let's go to the Git history pane, and it says merge has been completed. It's verified that that happened. Checking out, yes, this latest commit has both master and feature on it. So that's our three-way merge demo. At this point, you know what a three-way merge is. You also know how to perform one, but you haven't yet learned how to perform a three-way merge with conflicts. That is what we will cover in the next unit.